welcome everybody. Welcome back, tuning in for episode 2 of our Spartan appreciation interview. I'm Steve Murphy. I'm the athletic trainer at Holy Spirit High School, co-hosted with Steve Normain, our athletic director. Today we're bringing on Jack Cella, or some may know him as Jumpin' Jack Cella. Jack Cella is a 3-year varsity letterman on our basketball court. He is a 2019-2020 David Lewis Ironman Award for Best Male Winter Athlete, right?
Yes, sir.
He'll be taking his talents next year to Gwynedd Mercy University, all right, starting in the fall. Excellent work, Jack.
Thank you, man.
Glad you came on. I'm going to kind of kick things off with my Jack Cella gratitude story. So I know you asked about maybe a specific game, but I can't really tie into a specific game because for you it was always the way you approach the game. You know, you're one of the toughest kids that I've ever worked with in my career as an athletic trainer, which I love as an athletic trainer. But if you come see me, I know something's legit and something's real. That kind of thing makes my job pretty easy. Of all the players, you're probably the one who knows the hardwood the best. Not only your time dedicated in the gym and getting those extra practices with Coach Wood, but you probably have the most intimate relationship with the hardwood, right? Taking on most charges, especially on the team, possibly in the Cal as well. Were you leading in the Cal?
I was definitely top 5.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Yeah. By far, one of the hardest workers, one of the most fun guys to watch on the court. I remember your freshman year, first time you fall into the crowd, I'm jumping up out of my seat ready to go, and I look back at your mom, and she's just like, that's Jack. He's going to be okay. And I learned for the next 3 years that that's how you play the game, man. I love it.
Thank you, Murph. I appreciate
it. So moving on, let's hear about your most memorable game.
My most memorable game was definitely beating Pleasantville at Pleasantville. It was a place that I had never played once in my entire life of playing basketball. I've never played at the Pleasantville gym, and I ended up hitting the game-winning free throw, following up with 18 points that game. So it was definitely the most memorable for me. And also I had to say another big one for me was beating Pleasantville at home as well. And beating Pleasantville was a huge thing for me because I remember last year, my junior year, we played them at home for the Cella Classic. And no one really expected us to be in that game whatsoever. They had 3 1,000-point scorers, and 2 of them scored their 1,000 points in that game against them. And yes, very rare. It was one of the worst feelings ever. When I was like, but then that fourth quarter, they ended up destroying us. I mean, like completely just blowing us out of the gym. And I just remember they were all like waving their hands at me, like getting everybody, like all the Pleasantville crowd into it and everything. So I was like, I just remember throughout that whole time, and I knew next year when we played Pleasantville that it was not going to happen. And because just that time I was like so embarrassed afterward that just kind of like stuck with me. And I was actually sick the week before the first time we played Pleasantville, so I was only able to make the practice before Sunday. So I made the practice Saturday morning, but I had to go into school on Friday, and I was really like in and out of the nurse and everything. But I remember all I said to everyone, because we didn't have Christian playing that game because he had an ankle injury. And I said to him, I told you, it's like, guys, this is my senior year. It's like, I'm not losing to Pleasantville. Like, we're not losing. Like, there's not – and I kind of think that kind of, like, I guess, set the tone for the game. So, that was definitely probably then, and then playing them at home. So beating them twice as well was definitely probably my favorite moment.
Hey, Jack, I remember that going back. I remember all 3 games. I remember that Seagull Classic game 2 years ago where it was not a game we were expected to hang tough in, and we did. We hung tough, and then the fourth quarter, whatever happened there. And I know you guys were quite upset about it. But then coming back this year at the Seagull Classic, the first time you played them, huge, great atmosphere, and we followed up some big games throughout the day. And with the win, and then when you played at Pleasantville, we did a home and home with them this year, which was the first game you mentioned as where you hit the winning free throw. If I'm not mistaken, I was watching it on Matt Ulmer's YouTube.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, you were hurt for most of that game. Didn't you get hurt during that game?
I was, yeah. The first time actually we played Pleasantville, speaking of that, it was the first time. I actually got dead leg pretty bad against them, And usually when I get a dead leg, I kind of just like, it's dead leg, but it'll go away after a while as long as nothing else happens to it. But from there on out, it just kept getting hit. So it kept getting worse, and I kind of like rehabbed a lot with Murph for it. And I always say like Murph was like my doctor. I would always go to Murph before I go to an actual doctor. So, but yeah, I definitely me and Murph did a lot of stuff. He wrapped me up for a game, and I remember, at Pleasantville, early in the game, I remember I got a rebound and I was dribbling with the ball up the court, and I got tripped and fell on it. And for the rest of the game, it was just awful. I was limping the whole game, and it's just and I got hit a second time by a kid, and it wasn't even that hard of a hit, but just the contusion forming in my leg was just awful. Just the pain of getting hit, so I had to hop off the court, and it was just.
You really had to dig deep for that foul shot you had to make, huh?
Yeah. Oh yeah. It was definitely a nerve-wracking one too. It was loud in there. I'll tell you, it was like 1,000 degrees in that gym.
Yeah, I also was watching on that Olmer's YouTube, man. That was
cool. Crazy.
That was cool. I mean, if I had to pick a game, I also might agree with that game as my top one. Most people were playing injured, and it was kind of cool to watch you hit a game winner. It feels good for me to see that happen to my athletes. So I'll probably pick that game as well.
It's crazy, Jack, because we never know when, like you alluded to before, we never know when you're actually hurt, because you're on the floor every 30 seconds diving for a ball, and it's like you get used to it. So then when you're actually on the floor hurt, Murph and I are sitting there like, he's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go hit the game winner, and it's awesome. Hey, Jack. So you've had a lot of coaches with the basketball program. Do you have any specific stories or any memorable moments with any one of those guys?
There's definitely a few, but I'll go over one with I had with Coach Jamie. So we played Mainland at home, and that was our second time playing Mainland that year. And the first time we lost them at home. But the second time we played them, and obviously that was probably the best atmosphere we had at a home game the whole year. I mean, they are student section, our students, it was just crazy. So that whole week of practice, Coach Jamie kind of preached that we can't let the kid, their best shooter, his name's Luke Mazer, we could not let him shoot threes at all. So pretty much my job was just go over screens and stuff. So literally the whole game I was just getting clobbered by screens, just getting killed. But just so I wouldn't let him, because if I go under, he would just shoot,
Right.
So one of his last shot of the game, I went under the screen, and it was a deep three. But luckily, I mean, he missed it, even though I forget how much we were up by at the time, but he did miss it. Yeah, he missed it, and I think someone on the team got fouled though, because they might have got an offensive rebound or something. But I went over to Coach Jamie. When he was on the side, I said to him, I was like, my bad, Coach. He was like, I went on the screen, and he told me to shut up and gave me a hug. And he gave me a big smile, and I smiled. And it was funny. It was a good, I'll definitely remember it for a while.
That's a good one. That's good, man.
Hey, Jack, you mentioned something I want to touch on. That game against Mainland and several others this year. Our student section was quite loud and quite a game changer. So not necessarily just about the student section, but our gym has a tremendous history of big games, big tournaments. Talk about playing as a Holy Spirit Spartan in our gym. What is our gym? What are you going to remember about our gym?
I mean, I've been going to Holy Spirit basketball games ever since, I was a pretty young kid. I've always done camps and such. So I've always been involved with Holy Spirit even when I was young. And both of my parents went there too, so it's always been I've always been involved. But going to games as I was younger, 6th, 7th grade, 8th grade, seeing a student section like that, I'd go to the big prep game or the big Atlantic City game, and you'd be like, man, I want to play for that. I want to play with all those people that, and I always loved that. And as I started to get older and mature more, I guess I started to appreciate them more, and I played hard for them and enjoyed playing for them too. So that was definitely a big reason of why I play hard, is for fans and stuff, because I know people do enjoy it.
Definitely showed you're one of those players who feeds off the energy of the crowd.
Definitely,
for sure.
Yeah.
And it works both ways. I think you get the crowd.
You're a fan favorite, man. The way you play, everybody. It's easy to get the crowd going. I ain't
I love it. Yeah, that's a lot of people. I talk to people a lot about if they like playing in front of like smaller crowds or bigger crowds. And some people say small crowds because they don't like, they don't like a lot of people. And I love big crowds. I mean, I don't care how many people. I just love it because I love getting into the crowd, like the energy. I love all of that stuff, everything about it.
That's awesome. Hey Jack. So you've been a part of quite a few sports teams.
Yes.
This last fall you joined on football. So can you tell us a little bit about that decision and winning the state championship this year? What brought that up?
It was awesome. I mean, I have always I played football way when I was younger, all throughout middle school. And honestly, I look back and I never should have stopped. But, I'm not going to go and say I regret it because you can't really have any regrets coming out of high school and everything. But obviously, if I could go back and do it, I wish I would have. But I'm definitely glad I did it my senior year. And I didn't I didn't really know what I was in for, like if we were going to win a state championship, if we weren't. I was kind of just in it to do it because, it's your senior year.
Right.
The heck with it, just do it. Have a good time, and I ended up loving it. I mean, it was one of the most fun experiences ever, just being with all those guys. It's really like a family, That's really what it is.
Awesome.
Like some people will say it and, about their teams or whatever, but literally like that Holy Spirit football team is like a tight family. It really is.
So being a part of the football culture, basketball culture, even the track as well, it's a lot of Holy Spirit sports. What can you say? How would Holy Spirit athletics evolve you as a man that you are today?
Oh, I mean, a lot. They've done a lot. I mean, especially the biggest thing I could probably say is probably my toughness, like mentally and physically. Physically more like in football, you have to more physical toughness. And that's kind of how I got into my basketball toughness, I guess.
Okay.
And I'm saying, if I could hit somebody in football or take a hit in football, I should be able to take a charge or dive for a ball, It's like – so that kind of toughness goes there. And then mentally, the thing is with mental toughness, not a lot of people have it because sometimes you'll see guys get yelled at and they, like, get down on themselves. You know what I mean? And mental toughness has always been a big thing for me because if you don't have it, it's not even for sports, it's for life as well.
Yeah.
If you don't have it, then, it's you're going to get kicked in the butt, Yeah. So a lot of those basketball coaches and even some football coaches definitely helped me with that a lot. And one I could definitely is Coach Wood. He's been training me ever since I was real young, and he helped me a lot with that. And even some of the football coaches did. So, like Roman.
He's definitely one to give on that mental toughness approach to his young students.
Yeah.
My last question for you, Jack.
Mm-hmm.
Can you give me one word to represent the Holy Spirit community?
Easily. That I know Justin said it, but family. I mean, I could easily agree with him on that. That's definitely the one word I would definitely use.
That's awesome. I just love hearing that word pop up every time you throw
it. It definitely is. There's really no other. I mean, there's a lot of other words to describe it, but I mean, I think family really puts it into just all those words together. Just
right.
So.
Yeah, it's a fun bond.
Yep, definitely.
So Jack, I didn't get to say my Jack Cella memory, and kind of like Murph's, it's encompassing. Some of my favorite times interacting with you is just seeing you in the hallway at school. And that's the reaction I get every single time.
Yeah.
I don't even have to make a good joke. You just,
I know.
It's great. You're a good ego boost. But
thank you.
After watching you compete all this time, I've seen you play for 4 years. To the one that's going to stick out to me, and it's not a happy moment, but watching you come off the floor at Wildwood Catholic this year for the last time, that was I've seen this. I've seen senior days. I've seen kids' careers come to an end, and it's never fun. But the reaction you got from the crowd of Holy Spirit fans that came down to Wildwood Catholic's gym was one of the most heartfelt things I've ever seen. They showed you the appreciation of all the work you've put in. And I happened to look around, and not only was it our fans, it was the Wild Catholic fans too, who were yelling at you and screaming at you and getting on you all game. But they were also appreciative of you and the other seniors for the battles we've gone through with them over the years. So that, to me, I'm going to remember that. I'm going to remember that reaction and your face and the way you hugged your coaches, and that was really cool. So kind of to segue off of that, this isn't the end for you. That's not the last time you're going to play basketball. You're committed to Gwynedd and Mercy next year, and we wish you the best of luck there. Normally we have signing days, commitment days for our kids who are going to go play at the next level, but due to the COVID-19 situation, those have been put on hold. So if you can get ready on your end, we'd like to have a little signing day for you right now.
Definitely.
Yeah. So why don't you get yourself ready?
Will do. Okay.
All right, there you go. You got your background.
We're in the school library right now.
We're in the library. We're ready to sign. Jack, congratulations. All your 4 years of hard work have led to this. You have a pen with you?
I do.
All right, awesome. Give that commitment letter a sign.
Well, signature.
Yep.
All right. It's
It's
official.
always
Congratulations,
man.
Jack.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for coming on with us.
No problem. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, man. It's good seeing you. Stay
You too,
safe
guys.
and healthy out there.
Thank you.
Seeing you, man. Have a good one.
Have a good one.
Thanks, Jack.